we're here in Ovum's London headquarters. I'm here with Alexandra Rehak. She is the head of IoT, the IoT guru at Ovum. Alexandra, we're all heading to Mobile World Congress, end of the month. What's going to be the big topics of conversation for you at that event? What's going to be new? What's breaking through in the IoT world?
So a few things, right? First of all, we are looking for LPWAN commercialization and use cases. So This is really the year when we're starting to see LPWAN technologies becoming widespread, particularly narrowband IoT and also LTM. So a lot of interest there in how those are playing out in the commercial market now that there's better coverage. What are the applications? What kind of new modules and devices are coming out that use those? And really what sort of ecosystems are developing around those two technologies in particular.
Okay.
So that's one focus area for us, definitely.
All right.
Second one for us, and I think everybody there, is 5G and IoT use cases for that. So obviously 5G is still some way in the future, but we're seeing a lot of test beds, a lot of experimentation, a lot of partnerships being announced, particularly in sectors like the automotive sector, where there are excellent potential use cases for 5G. Now, we're maybe a little more skeptical than some others in terms of how important IoT will be for 5G or vice versa. We think a lot of the other technologies that support the more sort of mass market, lower bandwidth IoT applications are going to be more important sooner, but still keeping a close eye on that. A third area is really around AI for IoT and how IoT data is feeding into AI, how those two things are being integrated, and supporting that, the use of edge computing to deliver some intelligence to IoT applications and devices closer to the edge, closer to the end of the chain, as it were.
And in terms of AI, because talk to anybody in this industry and they are AI enabled or they have an AI strategy, what does the implementation of artificial intelligence capabilities mean within the IoT ecosystem? Are we talking about on the analytics side, like using machine learning algorithms on the analytics side, or are there any AI capabilities in modules?
So I think we're starting to see moves in both of those directions. So, of course, if you're looking at training up machine learning algorithms using IoT data for that, and then using the outputs of that to direct the activities of different devices is quite important. Equally, just small sort of analytics that you see going on closer to the edge are also going to be very important. You can argue about whether that's really AI or not, but we're seeing a whole range of different applications.
I like to differentiate between policy and AI are two different things for me, and a lot of people refer to we've got AI when actually it's only they have implemented some policy-based rules.
Yes, I mean, it's a spectrum in terms of what people refer to when they think about AI. But, we're seeing some really interesting applications really in two areas. I mean, first of all, in automotive and mobility generally, using AI for that, obviously driving towards, excuse the pun, autonomy in that sector. That is quite important, and not only for automotive, but for other kinds of mobile applications and transport as well. And then the other area where it's becoming important is this idea that we're seeing of putting together kind of data hubs or data lakes that allow IoT data to be commercialized in various ways, and those are being set up by operators, by other players more on the IT and tech side, and that is certainly linked in with the potential to feed into AI applications. So that's quite important too, and that's another trend we're looking out for.
And do you think there'll be, I mean, obviously Mobile World Congress, there's a lot of ground to cover, I mean, literally, but there are some pockets of IoT innovation at that event. I think it's not a village, it's maybe a smart city or something like that at the show. Is that the place to go to find out about what's at the cutting edge of IoT?
So I think what you're referring to is the GSMA Innovation City. Certainly that is one of the places to go to. That's a great place to go and see some of the newest and coolest applications in action. So for that side of it, I think it's quite illustrative to see what's actually possible now. There's lots of innovation that's going on, obviously, that you don't see in the Innovation City. So
right, in the
back on
far corner of Hall 9.
Yes,
Yeah.
on the tech side, certainly on the startup side, a lot of innovative players still coming into the market, and of course, a lot of innovation coming from the major cloud players as well, relating to IoT. So Amazon and Microsoft and Ali Cloud and these sorts of players who are also getting their fingers into the IoT pie in quite a significant way.
Okay. And do you see potentially a little kind of, not battle, but maybe it will be a battle about controlling the edge computing between those web scale giants and the telcos, about who will actually own and manage the capabilities at the edge?
Absolutely, and I think those probably aren't the only two groups of players in that battle. So
Right.
It's certainly important, but a lot of processing related to the IoT, a lot of the analytics and so on, will take place on cloud platforms. That's a critical thing to keep in mind. So it's not that if you don't control what's going on at the edge, somehow you're missing out on the entire opportunity. We do see a lot of players saying, we're providing end-to-end IoT solutions. We can do everything for you, trying to make it much easier for enterprises to start and take those sort of early steps with IoT deployment, because it is very early for a lot of them still.
Yeah.
So that's sort of how do you put together a package for an enterprise, and thinking about the business case for that. For us, that's a big piece of what's still evolving for the IoT. It's not just about the technology. A lot of the technology is already there.
How to make the money. That's what everybody wants to know about, isn't
Exactly. Why do you want to do this? There are lots of good reasons, but not everybody is articulating that yet as well as they could be.
Okay, excellent. Great. Well, we'll look forward to a great show and maybe hearing after MWC about what the big takeaways are. Alexandra,
Absolutely.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray.